Every single day, we encounter situations that test our patience and challenge our calm. Whether it's the frustration of being stuck in traffic when you're already late, the annoyance of dealing with a coworker's irritating habits, or the inconvenience of your phone battery dying during a crucial call, life is filled with these small but persistent battles. These irritations may seem minor on the surface, but they have a way of accumulating, impacting our mood, our day, and ultimately our overall well-being. It's not just about these immediate frustrations, though. The key lies in how we respond to them, as it is our responses that shape our days and, by extension, our lives. Today, we will delve deep into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that doesn't just offer survival tactics for these moments, but provides a pathway to thrive amidst them. Stoicism equips us with tools to transform daily frustrations into opportunities for personal growth and inner peace. By the end of this exploration, you'll not only understand why these Stoic principles have influenced some of the world's greatest minds for centuries, but you'll also gain practical strategies that you can start applying today to lead a more resilient and fulfilling life. So, let's embark on this journey together, discovering how the calm, logical approach of Stoicism can help us control our reactions, cultivate serenity, and bring about profound personal transformation. Lesson 1. Embracing anger as a teacher. Everyone experiences anger. It's a natural part of the human experience, but this is where Stoicism offers its profound wisdom. While we cannot always control the circumstances that provoke anger, we can control how we choose to respond. This distinction is pivotal in transforming our relationship with anger. Consider this. When something goes wrong or someone frustrates us, our initial instinct might be to react with anger. But what if instead we took a moment to pause and reflect on this reaction? Stoicism encourages us to see these moments as opportunities to practice virtues such as patience, understanding, and resilience. By recognizing anger as a natural emotion, we set the foundation for learning how to manage it more effectively. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius often discussed the concept of remaining unswayed by external events and instead focusing on our internal responses. They believed that our emotions, including anger, are the result of our judgments about events, rather than the events themselves. When we feel angry, it is often because we have placed a particular value or judgment on the situation at hand. This understanding presents us with a powerful opportunity. Every time we feel anger rising, we can ask ourselves, what judgment am I making about this situation? Is there another way to interpret it? This approach is not about suppressing or denying your anger, it's about understanding it. By getting to the root of what triggers our anger, we can begin to alter our responses. For example, if you find yourself getting cut off in traffic and feel anger bubbling up, take a moment to reflect on why you're reacting this way. Is it truly the action of the other driver that is upsetting you, or is it your belief that your route should be free of obstacles? Furthermore, acknowledging your anger can help you develop empathy for others who may also struggle with their emotions. This empathy can deepen your relationships and improve your interactions, fostering compassion both for yourself and others as you navigate the complexities of human emotions. Lesson 2. The power of control and focus. A significant portion of our frustration and anger stems from situations or people we cannot change, no matter how much we wish we could. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, emphasized that true power lies in recognizing the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. You control your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions, nothing more. Everything else, including the actions of others, the weather, the past, and much of the future, lies outside of your control. But here's the fascinating part. By concentrating on our own reactions and attitudes, we reclaim a tremendous amount of power. Instead of wasting energy on the uncontrollable, we invest it in what we can actually influence. Let's explore this concept practically. Imagine you're working on a group project, and someone in the group isn't contributing their fair share. It's easy to become frustrated, perhaps even to the point of anger, but in such a moment, ask yourself, what part of this situation can I control? You can't make your teammate work harder, but you can control how you respond to the challenge. Perhaps it's about having a candid conversation about expectations, or maybe it's about redistributing the work within the group. By shifting your focus in this way, you not only alleviate your own stress, but also open up more constructive ways to address the problem. Another crucial aspect of this Stoic principle is the acceptance that some things are simply beyond our control. This acceptance doesn't equate to resignation. Instead, it's about understanding where our true power lies. It's about ensuring that external events do not dictate our peace of mind. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and find yourself growing irritated because you're going to be late, pause and consider, can I control the traffic? No, but what can I control? Your reaction. Perhaps you decide to listen to an audiobook or some calming music, or maybe you use the time to plan your day. The beauty of focusing on what you can control is that it gradually builds a stronger, more resilient mindset. Over time, you'll find yourself less shaken by life's inevitable ups and downs, because you've cultivated a clear understanding of where your responsibilities lie and where they don't. This approach is not about suppressing your emotions. Rather, it's about channeling your energies in more productive ways. Lesson 3. Mindfulness and present moment awareness. Being fully present in the moment, aware of where we are and what we're doing without being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us, is a practice that aligns seamlessly with Stoic teachings. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of being aware of our thoughts and actions and maintaining control over our reactions to external circumstances. Why is mindfulness so essential? Because it creates a pause between our experiences and our reactions to them. By becoming more mindful, we can choose responses that align with our values and goals rather than allowing our emotions to sweep us away. This practice is especially valuable when dealing with anger or frustration. For instance, when someone says something that upsets you, instead of immediately reacting or lashing out, mindfulness allows you to take a step back. You notice your emotional surge, but choose to observe it passively, without acting on it right away. This space that mindfulness creates is not just calming, it's empowering. It gives you the chance to choose a response that you won't regret later. So how can we incorporate mindfulness into our daily lives? One simple yet effective technique is to focus on your breathing. When you find yourself feeling anxious or angry, take a moment to concentrate on deep, slow breaths. This focus draws your mind away from the triggers of stress or anger and brings you back to what you can control, your breath. Another practical method is what I call mindful observation. Choose an ordinary task or moment, like drinking a cup of coffee, and focus all your senses on this experience. Notice the aroma, the warmth of the cup in your hands, the taste. This practice of fully engaging with the present moment can transform an ordinary experience into a richer, more textured one. What's particularly fascinating about this practice is that it trains your brain to apply the same level of awareness to more challenging situations. When anger or frustration arises, you'll be better equipped to handle it with the same focus and calm. Lesson 4. The impermanence of all things. Stoicism also teaches us about the impermanence of our experiences. Nothing lasts forever, not even our emotions. Mindfulness complements this teaching by helping us experience our feelings without judgment. Acknowledge that you're angry, recognize it, but also remind yourself that this anger is just a passing state. It's not who you are, and it doesn't have to control you. The idea that everything changes and nothing lasts forever is a universal truth that can help us navigate life's ups and downs with more grace and less frustration. It's about understanding that our circumstances, emotions, and even our thoughts are constantly in flux, and learning to embrace this state of constant change rather than resisting it. Consider how often we become upset because things didn't go as planned. Perhaps it was a job promotion that didn't materialize, a relationship that ended unexpectedly, or a sudden change in health, our first reaction might be to resist these changes, to feel anger or sadness. But Stoicism invites us to view these situations differently, through the lens of impermanence. When we truly grasp that nothing is permanent, we start to realize that our anger or disappointment is also temporary. This perspective doesn't diminish the importance of our feelings, but provides a more balanced view of them. Embracing impermanence allows us to live more fully in the present and worry less about the past and future. If you understand that everything is temporary, you begin to appreciate your experiences and the people around you more deeply. You don't take things for granted because you're aware that circumstances can change at any moment. This awareness can be incredibly liberating. It reduces the sting of negative events and enhances the joy of positive ones. But how do we practice accepting impermanence in our daily lives? Start by reflecting on the transient nature of your surroundings and experiences. Observe how the seasons change. Notice how your feelings shift throughout the day, or consider how your relationships evolve over time. These observations can serve as reminders that change is the only constant. Lesson 5. Understanding the roots of emotions. The Stoics believed that understanding the root causes of our emotions could lead to greater self-mastery. By understanding the origins of our emotions, we are better equipped to respond to life's challenges in ways that align with our values and goals, rather than simply reacting out of habit or impulse. Every emotion we experience, whether it's anger, joy, sadness, or fear, is triggered by our perceptions. For instance, if you feel angry when someone interrupts you while speaking, it's worth exploring why. Is it because you feel disrespected? Or perhaps it reflects a deeper insecurity about whether your voice is being heard. By digging into these questions, you can begin to understand not just your reactions, but also the beliefs and values that underlie them. This understanding is crucial because it gives you the opportunity to change your perceptions and, consequently, the way you feel. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions are based on our judgments. The good news is that judgments can be examined and changed. So, when you feel a strong emotion, try to step back and ask yourself, what am I believing right now? Is this belief true? Is it helpful? This type of questioning can be incredibly powerful. It allows you to shift your perspective and choose a different emotional response, one that serves you better. For example, if you're feeling anxious about a work presentation, it might be because you believe that you must perform perfectly in order to be respected. But is this really true? Likely, your colleagues value your effort and sincerity more than perfection. Recognizing this can alleviate some of your anxiety and help you approach the situation with more calmness and confidence. Lesson 6. The practice of patience. Patience, according to Stoic philosophy, is not just about waiting, it's about how we behave while we wait. It's about maintaining our composure and dignity in the face of life's delays and challenges, understanding that these are often outside our control. In our daily lives, we encounter countless situations that can trigger impatience, from a slow-moving line at the grocery store to a traffic jam or a delayed response from a colleague. Our first instinct might be to feel irritated or stressed, but here's where Stoicism comes into play. It encourages us to see these moments as opportunities to practice virtue. Every instance of delay is a chance to exercise patience, to reinforce our ability to stay calm and collected. So, how can we develop patience in practical terms? One effective approach is to adjust our expectations. Often, our impatience stems from a mismatch between our expectations and reality. If we start by acknowledging that delays and obstacles are natural parts of life, we're less likely to get upset when they occur. This doesn't mean lowering our standards, but rather aligning our expectations with the reality that the world won't always operate according to our preferences. Another key method is to use moments of waiting as opportunities for growth and reflection. If you're stuck in traffic, instead of fuming over the delay, you can turn it into valuable time. Listen to an audiobook, practice deep breathing, or simply reflect on your day. This shift in perspective turns a frustrating situation into a productive or relaxing one. Practicing mindfulness is also a powerful ally in developing patience. By being present in the moment and fully engaging with it, we can distance ourselves from the feelings of urgency and restlessness that often accompany waiting. Mindfulness helps us cultivate a peaceful state of mind that buffers us against the stirrings of impatience. Stoicism not only advocates for patience, but also for understanding the impermanence of our current state. Remembering that this too shall pass can help us endure unpleasant situations, whether it's waiting for a delayed flight or enduring a long recovery from an illness. The knowledge that it is temporary makes it more bearable. Finally, celebrating small victories is crucial in developing patience. When you manage to stay calm during a situation that would normally make you impatient, acknowledge and reward yourself for this achievement. This reinforces the behavior and makes it more likely to become a habit. Lesson 7. The transformative power of forgiveness. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, is not about condoning wrongdoings or forgetting the harm done. It's about freeing ourselves from the emotional burden that comes from carrying grudges. Forgiveness requires a strong sense of self-awareness and control over one's emotions, qualities that Stoics strive to develop. Forgiveness involves recognizing that our anger and hurt, while natural and valid responses to perceived injustices, are ultimately within our control. This doesn't mean that the process is simple or immediate. On the contrary, forgiveness can be challenging. It often requires a deliberate, concerted effort to let go of deep-seated feelings of injustice. Consider the power that comes from deciding not to allow someone else's actions to disturb your inner tranquility. This is the essence of Stoic forgiveness. It's about making a conscious choice not to let past actions continually affect your present state of mind. This decision helps you reclaim your emotional energy and focus it on more constructive pursuits that align with your values and goals. How do we start practicing forgiveness in everyday life? It begins with the recognition that all humans are fallible, ourselves included. We all make mistakes, sometimes out of ignorance, sometimes out of malice. Reflecting on our own shortcomings can help us develop empathy towards others, making it easier to forgive. Another Stoic practice is to consider the bigger picture. Often the things we hold on to are not as significant in the grand scheme of our lives. By focusing on our long-term well-being, which is bolstered by peace and harmony, the immediate sting of grievances can be mitigated. Practicing forgiveness also involves actively reframing our narratives. Instead of viewing yourself as a victim, which can perpetuate feelings of anger and helplessness, try to see yourself as a survivor or even a hero of your story, someone who has overcome challenges and emerged stronger. This shift in perspective not only facilitates forgiveness, but also empowers you in your life's journey. Moreover, engaging in meditation or mindfulness exercises can assist in the process. These practices help calm the mind and provide the space needed to process emotions more rationally and less reactively. As you sit quietly and focus on your breath, allow thoughts of forgiveness to enter your mind. Picture those who have wronged you and imagine sending them thoughts of goodwill. This doesn't mean you accept the wrong, but you are choosing to release its hold over you. Finally, it's important to understand that forgiveness is a process, sometimes a lengthy one. It doesn't happen all at once, and that's perfectly okay. Each step toward forgiveness, no matter how small, is a step toward a freer, more emotionally balanced life. Lesson 8. Cultivating self-control. At its essence, self-control is the ability to pause before reacting, giving us time to consider whether our impulses align with our long-term goals. For instance, if you're trying to lead a healthier lifestyle, self-control is what helps you choose not to eat that late-night junk food. In emotional situations, self-control helps you hold back a harsh word or an angry reply, preserving relationships and maintaining peace of mind. So how can we strengthen this essential skill? One effective Stoic practice is to regularly reflect on our actions and their consequences. This could be as simple as taking a few minutes each evening to think about the choices you made throughout the day. Were there moments when you lacked self-control? What triggered it? Understanding these patterns is the first step toward managing them. Another powerful technique is to set clear personal rules for behavior based on your values. Stoicism teaches us that living according to rational principles is key to a good life. By setting and following your own rules, for example, not checking your phone during meals or limiting time spent on social media, you exercise self-control in ways that directly improve your daily life and well-being. Visualization is another tool that can be incredibly helpful. Before entering a situation where you know you might be tempted to act impulsively, take a moment to visualize yourself handling the situation with calm and restraint. Imagine the satisfaction you'll feel from acting in accordance with your principles. This mental rehearsal can make it much easier to keep your cool in the heat of the moment. It's also beneficial to gradually increase your tolerance for discomfort, which is a significant part of what self-control is all about. The Stoics believed that by voluntarily exposing ourselves to discomfort, whether it's through cold showers, fasting, or resisting urges, we can strengthen our willpower. These practices teach us that we can endure discomfort and that it's often not as bad as we fear. This realization directly enhances our ability to exercise self-control in more complex emotional or social situations. Lastly, remember that practicing self-control is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when you falter. That's just part of being human. What matters is that you recognize these moments, learn from them, and continue to strive for improvement. Each act of self-control, no matter how small, is a victory in its own right and a step toward becoming a wiser, more balanced person. The journey toward mastering your emotions through Stoicism is not about suppressing what you feel. It's about engaging with your emotions in a proactive and reflective way. It's about taking control of the narrative of your inner life. By understanding your emotions, you're not just reacting to the world, you're actively shaping your experience of it. Through the lessons of understanding anger, focusing on what we can control, practicing mindfulness, embracing impermanence, and cultivating self-control, Stoicism offers a clear and practical path to a more resilient and peaceful life. Each step you take toward mastering your emotions is a step toward greater peace, fulfillment, and clarity. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. Remember, every effort you make to master your emotions is a significant step toward a more peaceful life. Keep practicing, keep reflecting, and continue to apply these Stoic principles in your daily life.